Y gracias por estar con nosotros en M2. Tenemos ahora sí que a dos de los grandes, en cierta manera, en sus categorías. Y mi querida Ivette Salgado, sé que tu categoría favorita en la vida es el cine.
Exactamente, Susi. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Emocionada por presentar esta entrevista porque platicar con Luc Besson y sobre todo en la versión que nos ofrece de Drácula fue una cosa bastante interesante.
Contextualicemos un poquito, ¿no? Porque Luc Besson pues lo conocemos por películas como Nikita,
El Quinto Elemento,
El Quinto Elemento, Lucy, o sea, sí son películas que funcionan muy bien en cierta forma a nivel comercial, pero realmente son películas de festivales.
Exactamente.
Y tiene de las dos. Entonces ahora decidió pues taclear una de las grandes.
Bram Stoker, precisamente, y una versión que probablemente Coppola había hecho un poco esto con la misma versión
con
de
Gary
Bram Stoker y un Drácula enamorado, porque eso es lo que estamos viendo. Y él se tomó la libertad precisamente de ofrecernos a un Drácula que es capaz de esperar por siglos para encontrarse con el amor de su vida, dejando un poquito más allá la parte del terror que la misma novela ofrece. Y eso es lo interesante de lo que nos puede contar un cineasta como él, que ya se puede dar la libertad después de todo el cine que ha hecho de ofrecernos algo diferente.
Me encanta, pues veamos tu entrevista.
Conde Drácula. Por 400 años esperé su regreso.
No puedo evitar sentir que no pertenezco a este tiempo.
I'd love to start by asking you why it was important for you to create a new version of this story that focuses in this time in a love story.
I was not so interested by Dracula or the horror film, or my main concern when I read the book again was this man able to wait 400 years because he just wants to see his wife again. And I think it's so romantic that I want to make an entire movie about that. So I use Dracula more as a background, and and yeah, sometimes you scared a little bit, but not too much, to be honest. But it's really about this romanticism.
So there have been so many versions of Dracula on screen. What do you feel was missing? What do you want to add with yours?
Oh, no, it's not I think every artist has his own vision. So if you put a little cat in the middle of the room and you ask 4 painters to paint the cat, none of them will do the same. Picasso won't make the same cat than Modigliani.
Yeah.
So it's my vision, and I have a lot of respect for the visions of the others. It's not the problem. This version is really the version of me, of Luc.
Absolutely. So you have said that Caleb was in your mind even before the story came together. What made you feel that he was the right one to play this character?
I mean, I worked with Caleb on Dogman, and I've never met an actor as talented as him. So he gives you everything. He always tries to understand what you really want, and he tries to serve the purpose of the film. He's very generous. For the next one, I will try to find something to do with him.
That's awesome. And also, I find it very powerful that Dracula loses his faith and falls into darkness after his wife dies. So how important was it for you to explore that spiritual conflict?
It's important because you have 2 categories of people, the believer and the one who don't believe. Mm-hmm. But the believer they always confront to the faith. There is always a moment where you don't trust anymore, or you don't understand what's the message, because you say, is it God is still there? Sometimes I watch the news and I say, where is God? And then you realize that man kills man in their own name. So when they kill in the name of God, it's fake. they don't kill in the name of God. They kill on their own name and for their own purpose, which usually is money or power, but it's their own name. They use the name of a God, doesn't matter which God. So I think it's important to talk today to talk about that, like to confront Dracula. Dracula believes in God. He thinks he's fighting, he's killing in the name of God. And then suddenly he doesn't understand why God killed his wife. And then now he don't believe anymore. So I think it was interesting to, it's a fantasy, it's a love story, but also to tease people about that. Like, okay, do you believe? Don't you believe? You believe in what exactly? How much you can believe?
Yeah, absolutely. The last one, Luke. After so many years working in different genres, what is something that is still challenge you as a filmmaker?
Usually it's really about the storytelling, the story, like in one line. Sometimes I'm struck just by one line. Like, for example, when I read the book of Dracula from Bram Stoker, the line for me was like, a man is able to wait 400 years to see his wife again. And that's it. I can make an entire movie just with one line because I think it's so romantic that I want to follow that. I want to follow this man through centuries because I know sometime he will be full of hope, sometime he will be totally desperate, and yeah, one line is enough.
Pues una historia de amor. La novela es una historia de amor.
En sí, mezclada con esta parte de terror, ¿no?
Pues que muchas veces las historias de amor son de terror de por sí.
De por sí.
De por sí.
Aquí a este Drácula no le va muy bien.
Hablemos de la inmortalidad, ¿verdad?
Exacto.
Ok, eso es Drácula. Y ahora vámonos con pues alguien que también parece tener una vida eterna o varias vidas.
Exacto, exacto. Y llena de talento y conocer a Madonna desde esos inicios en los clubes de Nueva York, volviéndose esta aliada de la comunidad LGBT a una edad tan temprana, antes de convertirse incluso en solista. Esta es la etapa que está retratando el documental Becoming Madonna.
Becoming Madonna, convirtiéndose en Madonna. Fíjate que yo me acuerdo de Madonna pues cuando yo era muy chiquita y ella ligeramente más grande, bueno, algo más grande, pero la veíamos y decíamos, ¿cómo se atreve? O sea, porque no podíamos creer que alguien públicamente se atreviera a hacer esas cosas. Hoy en día quizá es muy natural, pero el haber hecho eso cuando lo hizo...
En el momento que lo hizo
ni
fue
siquiera
enorme. Creo que ahora sea tan natural por lo que ella representa, incluso ahora en el tema del feminismo, ¿no?
Así es.
Pero conocer ese origen y ver de dónde surgió esta mujer llena de fuerza y llena de una filosofía de vida bastante clara y definida, tiene que ver con este documental y Michael Otten precisamente es el cineasta a cargo de ella.
A ver.
And I've always felt like such an outsider, like I could never fit in. Come here, brother. This is my brother Christopher.
She was our mother's namesake. It either crushes you or elevates you.
Didn't just make it in music. I mean, she shaped pop culture. So what do you think made that rise possible?
Oh, I think it's true. I think she's more than a pop star, isn't she? I think that's without doubt. I think it's I think it's partly that she was an outsider and she saw herself as an outsider that didn't fit in, and she found a culture like the New York queer scene that worked for her, and she found women who had the same views as her, and she found herself in a very, very conservative America and felt that she had to just be herself and be honest.
One of the things that stands out in the documentary is how Madonna takes control of her own story, especially in an industry led by men. So were there moments in the documentary where that felt especially clear to you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like a prayer is the key moment where
Yeah.
you know the bit I mean, and it's that moment, and it's one of my favorite bits in the film where it's like at that moment is one of the most expensive music videos in history, or is intended to be, and the men are saying you can't do this and you can't do that, it's too expensive, and also this is outrageous, And she goes, we can do it. It's my money.
So Madonna's connection with the LGBT community goes way beyond style or performances. So it's very, very political. So how do you use that relationship showing up in her journey, I mean, over the years?
I think you see it repeatedly, don't you, in her music videos? If you look at Vogue, if you know, it's there. If you look at all her, you know, lots of her music videos, you're seeing there's a queerness to lots of her music videos. I think there's a sexuality that's pushing boundaries. There's a masculinity to her femininity. I think she reveals a way of life that you could live.
I think provocation was or is today one of her strongest tools. So, but it was also a form of resistance in that time. So, what do you want to explore about her use of sexuality as a political and social statement?
What's really interesting, talking to the people who worked with her at that time, they say for them, it wasn't about being outrageous. It wasn't about being controversial. It was just how we felt. And, you know, we were women who felt like this, and we didn't think it was a problem to put that into the music. You know, it was about a feeling. It wasn't, for them, it's how they lived their lives.
Yeah, and the last one. After making the documentary, what would you say about the way that Madonna understands art and time?
I just think she, for me, it's what Madonna's gift is the gift of evolution, because she's always accused of, you know, of stealing from people, I think, or she was, but actually no, she was good, smart at collaborating and finding the right people to sort of work with to create a new sound and a new vision. And you know, and that's art, isn't it? That's, you know, ever evolving, ever changing, ever moving is the only way you can be if you're an artist, I guess.
Querida Ivette, solo resta preguntarte ¿dónde podemos ver primero el documental Becoming Madonna?
En Universal Plus se estrena ya precisamente esta semana.
Perfecto. ¿Y dónde podemos ver
Y
dónde podremos ver Drácula?
Por favor, vayan a las salas de cine y gocen esa fotografía también que ofrece el equipo de Luc Besson, porque está bastante interesante la forma en la que también está retratando a Drácula.
Claro, donde colocas la cámara, donde te cuentas la historia de una manera muy distinta.
Exactamente.
Entre muchas cosas más. Gracias, Ivette.
Un gusto, como siempre.
Y gracias a ustedes por acompañarnos aquí en M2. Nos vemos pronto.